Ink therapy, ink therapy, ink therapy, ink therapy.
I'm ready, man. Here we freaking go.
Here we go. Well, welcome to the therapy session. This is episode number 18 with Maxwell. What's up, bro?
What's up, man? Thanks for having me here. I'm super excited.
Yeah, man, I'm excited too. AKA Renegade.
Renegade, H-Dog.
H-Dog. H-Dog in the house. Man, you've been at Ink Therapy for a little while now.
Yep.
And, you just became a licensed artist.
Yep.
How's that feel?
It feels incredible, man. It feels incredible. This is something I've wanted to do since I was really young. And it wasn't until I apprenticed with you that I got that chance to live this, to do it for real, So it's been really sick.
That's cool, bro. And you was persistent. Really?
Yep, indeed. I was.
Super.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that. That's why. So what Maxwell did was, I believe he came up to the shop, but he mainly was hitting me up through social media and was constantly like, "Hey, when a spot opens, I want to get an apprenticeship with you."
Yeah, that's right. No,
For a year.
Yeah. I came up here and to get tattooed by a previous apprentice. And I remember thinking then, like, dude, this shop is really sick and you seem really cool. And it's just seemed like a really awesome place, and so I was really psyched when the spot finally opened. So,
yeah, you were persistent, bro. Like at least once a week. Not like once a week, but it was pretty often. Regular.
Yeah. I don't know what I had something else. I had something else going on too, like a whole different life going on. I don't know. I was just like, cause it's like something that I wanted to do since before I got done with high school, but I'd get tattooed at a shop, ask like, "Hey, you guys have any apprenticeship spots?" They did not. But a lot of people that I got tattooed by, they had no interest in doing apprenticeships. I mean, that's really common. But then when I came here and the person that I got tattooed by told me about their experience, I was like, oh shit, like that would be fucking sick.
Yeah.
And indeed it was.
Yeah. And look at you now, license and everything.
Exactly.
So how long have you been tattooing?
Well, okay. So I've been at this shop coming on 2 years. Wow. And that's really the way I look at it. Like I did like BS little tattoo on myself back before I moved to Memphis. And that was 15 years ago, but I don't count that time in between. You know what I'm saying? I just count the time since I started with you, started the apprenticeship here. And I'm coming on 2 years. Yeah.
Wow. Time flies.
It does. It does indeed.
So you're saying that you always, since young, like you wanted to do tattoos?
Well, okay. So back up a little bit. Drawing for me is like, I got into drawing at the earliest point that I can remember, if not earlier than that. So like, I remember not being able to verbally communicate that well before I was like 1 and using drawing just for basic communication. Like, what do you want? They'd be like, string for sure. It's rope. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, exactly, basic stuff like that. And then I remember being like 5, looking back on drawings that I did when I was like 1 or 2. I still have some of those drawings I did when I was like 2, which back then it was just purely like, you see something like Buzz Lightyear. I have a drawing I did of Buzz Lightyear. I really liked Buzz Lightyear when I was a kid. Like,
he was cool though.
Yeah, Buzz Lightyear was sick, dude. Yeah.
Like the shape and everything about him is like a cool design.
The first Toy Story movie really got me. That was like a movie I really liked when I was a kid. And I have this drawing I did of Buzz Lightyear when I was like 1.5, 2 or something. And I have a drawing I did of my grandma that I did before that. But anyway, I've been drawing since I was like really, really young. And the first exposure I had to like seeing a tattoo was my dad always had a tattoo he got before I was born that he got when he was in the military, like a bald eagle on his shoulder.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, dude, that tattoo is sick. But just the concept of like being able to transfer some art onto somebody's skin, like I remember thinking like, there have to be people that do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I was like 10, 12 where I encountered like, okay, no, this is real. There are people that do this for sure.
Right.
Like this is real. And then, you know, I couldn't get tattooed in Kansas City until I was like right before I think I was 18. Maybe I was 18. I think I had just turned 18. So I had already like, you know, I think I was just finishing high school, and that was a super cool experience. The guy that I ended up finding that tattooed me cut me a tattoo on this big like side piece, like rib piece.
Yeah.
My first tattoo was like a 5-hour session full color piece. I don't know what I was thinking on my ribs. What was I thinking, dude?
Well,
But,
that's
yeah,
what
it
I
was sick.
always think about when people come in for rib tattoos for their first tattoo.
Yeah,
I'm like,
or something crazy. Yeah.
why? And they're like, is it gonna hurt? Like, no, it's not gonna hurt. I always tell them, no, it
Yeah.
never
Yeah.
hurts. No,
Don't worry
hurt.
about it. Yeah.
Right.
It's I yeah, speaking of that, just like what you say to like calm somebody down when they're kind of nervous. I remember one time you were doing a piercing near where I was at, and the person was like, shit, like, is this gonna hurt? And there was a long pause, and you go, well, no one's ever died.
I've never seen it.
Oh man, and I was like, perfect, exactly.
Yeah.
Like making no promises, but at the same time just confirming reality.
Yeah.
Like,
You're not gonna die.
right? Yeah,
You're gonna get piercing.
yeah, exactly.
You're gonna walk away a little bit cooler.
Yeah. It's gonna hurt. Well, I can't make any promises, but yeah, shit.
So you went to the College of Arts here in Memphis.
Yep, I moved to Memphis in 2012 to go there.
Wow.
And I had like, I don't know, in high school I like finished up like kind of a semester early, so I took a couple college classes like when I was also finishing high school, so I had some credits. And then when I got to MCA, Memphis College of Art, I took some extra classes and I ended up graduating like a year early. Like
Okay.
I got there, I started in 2012 and then I finished in 2015. So I kind of jumped up to the class that was there a year before I got there,
Oh.
and that's who I graduated with.
Wow.
So yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was an incredible experience. It was really cool. The college closed a few years after I graduated, which was a super bummer, but it's kind of cool that it's like capped. It's not like, oh man, that college was really incredible, and then, you know, through time and
Right, it
you
just
know,
went
it,
downhill.
you know, right. It's they were doing quality work to the end, you know, which was really cool. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I know a lot of people that came out of there and are super successful. And the cool thing about like you understand how the whole process of being a public artist is.
Yeah. Before tattooing, I tried every possible way there is to try to make money with my art.
Yeah.
Okay, I tried it all. Okay,
Yeah.
I was like, oil paintings for sure, gallery shows. Okay, but I was preparing for a world that was like 30, 40 years past, you know? Then, you know, I was like, okay, I like painting graffiti, I like painting on walls, murals.
Yeah.
Genius, right? But I was never able to really like turn profits with doing murals. Like I did some murals. But what I ultimately like what learned through that was like the amount of compromises you need to make to be able to make something like that happen. So I mean, I really got to give credit to people that I know that were able to do that successfully.
Right.
You know, and kind of live the life that at one time I wanted to have that. But then when I got to the other side and I, you know, experienced it, it just wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. I'm glad that they are able to do what they do and kill it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's with anything, the finding that compromise
Yeah.
That goes along with anything in any field or any profession that people have been successful. They've made compromises that we don't see looking in from the outside.
Exactly.
We just see them, oh, fuck it, they're already like famous. They're already making money. And that's how it's always been. And that's not the case.
Yeah. And it's also like sometimes you see someone and, you know, from your perspective, they're at the top of the food chain. They're killing it, you know, but then the more you get close to them, you kind of learn like, oh no, they have weaknesses.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They have just worked to develop themselves to where, you know, it's like they might do these incredible color murals and they're colorblind. They did a whole underdrawing in black and white and then had their friends help them select the colors to do it. But I think when you start kind of peeling back the layers, you start discovering like, oh, there's a lot more going on here. It's not just what you see when you see the end result.
Right.
You know but yeah.
And to go and take that into like the tattoo industry, in your apprenticeship, you had to make a lot of compromises that people don't see.
Exactly.
And,
oh yeah.
And you look back at that and you have to realize that like to be where you're at now, you still, there's so much more that you can learn and so much further that you can go. But like that first year of your apprenticeship, there was a lot of compromises. Main thing, time, a lot of like free tattoo sessions, tattooing yourself, you know, compromising on like, okay, these are my habits and these are the way that I normally do things. And now I have to change that.
Exactly. Yeah. And what I equate that to is like, if you were really good at like drawing with charcoal and then you wanted to do oil painting, it's like you immediately know, okay, I can't oil paint the way I was using charcoal. I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm going to have to just start from zero and learn how to do that. Now, there might be some things you can take with you to this new medium, but I've learned how to do mediums in the past. And I knew when I started this, I was like, I do not know how to do tattoos. I don't know how to draw a good tattoo. I don't know how to execute a good tattoo. It's like I can see a good tattoo and know that it's good, but the intricacies of why were unknown to me at that time. So it took time of like watching other people, mainly you, and then doing tattoos and then getting feedback. And then you start kind of peeling the onion and realizing like, okay, if I want to get from A to B, I want to be a good tattoo artist. I'm going to need to leave a lot of what I previously knew or understood to be the rules of the game, leave that shit behind.
Right.
And relearn this whole thing from square one, you know? Yeah.
I think me as a mentor, the biggest thing that I seen for you was that you were so enthusiastic about tattooing that like I'd had to try to suppress some of that. And that's understandable, you know, because like the newer tattoo artists, like the ones that are here now, you can see that. Yeah. I see that a lot, like with Quinn or somebody, like they're so enthusiastic, so excited about doing the tattoo that they're not understanding how a good tattoo can be done. And like, I'm looking at your leg and I remember you killed it on that one.
Yeah.
And then you like wanted to try something different.
Yeah.
You learn from it.
Yeah. You learn 100%. Cause like
that one's super dark. And bold.
This one is super dark and bold. Yeah.
And
this one's really clean. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's like,
you start to learn like, what can I do? What can I, and I think tattooing really is, and the older and more that I tattoo, I like to do bigger pieces or dope pieces, but I'm realizing more is less. Yeah.
Well, I think, you know, just like you said, it's like you want to do a good tattoo. The only thing that can guide you is your experiences of doing tattoos.
Yeah.
This is the only thing that you have to illuminate your way forward. This is the only thing. Like you could, you know, get a mentor who like drew out all your stuff and you were just copying them. And then you could reduce the you know, you could maximize, okay, well, the end result, these tattoos are looking good. But then you start making stuff outside of that and all that falls away. That framework isn't there. You have to build that for yourself. That's what you have to learn. So I think it's like, you know, it's a tricky road, you know. Sometimes you do good work, but you don't understand why it's good. And then later you do something less good in your eyes and you don't understand why it's less good. It takes time to understand that stuff, you know. Yeah.
So I guess that goes to my next question was like, how was your apprenticeship experience?
It was good. It was good. I feel like it was a real apprenticeship. You know what I'm saying? I think there's just so many different forms of this where people are getting experiences, but maybe, well, let me put it like this. When I came here, it wasn't just, oh, I just want the apprenticeship and I want to get the license. It was, I want to build a life doing this. This is a path to doing that. When I get done with this apprenticeship, I'm going to be an artist at this shop. This is what I saw. This is the potential. If I didn't fuck it up. And but so it wasn't just like, okay, I'm in it for this amount of time and then after that I'm doing whatever. No, it goes beyond that. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like in that way, you really wanted me to succeed. The things that you made me do weren't just arbitrary. You need to do that shit to have success, to have success. And looking back on it, there was nothing that was arbitrary that I had to do just for the sake of doing it. I see a lot of that. And it'd be easy to lose faith in a system where you were doing stuff that had no purpose, you know? But everything I did, there was a reason why I did it, or a reason why you had me do it. So I feel like, you know, I learned a lot. And, you know, sometimes when you're doing stuff, you don't understand fully why. But then later, if you keep on that path, then you understand. You know what I'm saying? Then you understand. It's like, you know, yeah. I mean, you have to have all the fundamentals to execute good tattoos. You can't just proceed without having all of the fundamental skills. You're not going to be able to have success. So, you know,
and I think a lot of people quit because they don't understand that.
Right. They don't want to focus on their weaknesses.
Yeah, they don't see that like their shortcomings is because they haven't built a strong foundation in tattooing.
Right.
You know, and a lot of people get into this industry saying, well, I'm going to be this niche tattoo artist and I'm only going to do the stuff that I want to do. I'm going to go to a private studio and I'm only going to tattoo the people that I want to tattoo.
Exactly.
And setting yourself up for failure.
Exactly. Because you've boxed yourself into this corner and now there's nothing beyond what you had at the very beginning. That first, like, you know, but it's like being here. This is a real walk-in shop. So you can't tattoo here and not know how to do all of the essentials, you know? And so it really, you know, I see where somebody could be like, oh, I'm going to do this only. And then it's like, okay, go ahead, you know? And, you know, I hope things go well for other people that don't do what we do. But, you know, I really feel grounded in that I can do the essentials, which is what I got from that apprenticeship. I feel like people don't get that. It's hard to do it. You know, it's hard to be like, okay, you can do this well, but you can't do this at all. That's what we need to focus on, you know? Yeah. So.
Yeah, it was interesting being your mentor because like you have such a huge background in art already, you know? And I think that's where I struggled at because I got into tattooing and I'm like, oh, I'm going to crush it. And as soon as I picked up a machine, I lost all confidence because I'm like, oh my God, this isn't, I couldn't run the line for like 6 months, bro. Like literally, I could not run a single line for 6. I struggled so hard. And like, I'm an artist and like I could draw, but I couldn't run a fucking line for the longest. And that shit was like, you know, it was a challenge.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just to step it down a lot.
So you know, you you had such a, like I seen it in you that like you had so much potential. I was like, man, I hope this guy gets this because this guy has so much potential.
That's
And like you was like come in and you're like doing like these full huge pieces and like you're missing out
yeah.
on the fundamentals. And
Exactly.
and like
Yeah.
some of them will be good. And like you were
Right.
saying, you were like, well, this one turned out good, but this one turned out like shit. What the
Right.
fuck am I doing?
Exactly.
And I was like, bro, just
Yeah.
dial in on the smaller ones.
Right.
Dial in on your smaller pieces and make them as
Yeah.
crisp as you possibly can.
Yeah.
And then everything else. And you use the word like illuminate.
Yeah.
That's going to like help you see how I can approach tattooing.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. You really have to let go of what you think and just go based on your experiences. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when you don't have any experiences, AKA you're starting an apprenticeship, you just got to really trust who your mentor is. You got to really just be like, well, all right. It's like anything that you have no knowledge of, you see it. And so you see other people doing it and you think, oh, I do have some knowledge, but you don't have any.
Nah.
You've never flown a plane. You've just seen other
Exactly.
people fly a plane and you think, well, it's not that hard. They were sitting there, but then you go to do
Making
it and
it
you're like,
look
oh, it's
easy.
really fucking hard.
And that goes back to what we were
Yeah.
talking about earlier, is that like we look at people and they are already in the lane, they already have everything going good, and it looks like, oh man,
Yeah.
they just got there. They're just good like that.
Right.
And
Yeah, it's
they didn't
amazing.
understand like all the fucking trouble they went through to get to that place.
Yeah.
And that's the blessing about apprenticeship, is that like
Yeah.
I've been through so much bullshit that I don't want y'all to have to go through that shit.
Right.
And the cool thing about this shop is there's other people that have experience that you can, ask them as well. We all
Right.
kind of like rub each other's shoulders and we like learn from each other.
Exactly. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. It's, yeah, I think people are losing sight in the value of the community aspect,
Yeah.
Which this shop really has. And I feel good. One of the things that makes me feel the best about being here is I can say to somebody, yeah, here are the shop hours. If I'm not there, anybody who's there, just go with it. Just trust them, and really be confident that that's the way it is. You know what I'm saying? And I have confidence in those other artists and you, and in the way that I would trust anybody that I've tattooed with anyone else here at the shop, and that is not a common aspect of working at a tattoo. That's not just like a standard thing, it's really hard to build that and like keep it going, and there's going to be bumps along the road, but you got to keep building that,
Right.
Yeah.
So you just got back from Greece?
Yes. I just got back from Greece. It was sick. It was
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. My mom moved out there like 4 years ago, got married, to a gentleman, from Greece, and she's been hyping that place up for
Yeah.
4 years. And I the whole time I'm thinking, yeah, it's probably cool, but it's not that great,
Yeah.
When I get out there, I'm like, God damn it, almost just pissed off, that it was as awesome as it was, which was pretty sick. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what's it like traveling and doing tattoos?
That's a whole, that's a whole other thing. It's, like I saw you do it. So I was like, naturally, I was thinking, well, I wonder if I could do it. And it's a whole, other skill to build, cause I'm thinking, okay, well, the money is different. Communication's going to be hard. And all of those things were a lot more real once I got there. You know what I'm saying? But it was a really cool experience. The cool part is it's like, if you can do a good tattoo here, You can do a good tattoo there. You could do it anywhere.
Right.
You know, you could do a good tattoo on the moon, maybe, you know?
Yeah.
But everything else gets harder, you know, like, you know, the communication, the client, you know, the advertising, you know, but it's its own skill, you know? So, yeah.
I think the beauty about traveling and tattooing is that it keeps you on your toes.
Yes.
Because here in the studio, it's set up.
Yeah.
Everything is set up, easy. Come in, set, you know, do the tattoo, comfortable environment.
Right, right.
But when I'm traveling, it makes me feel like a real tattoo artist. Where it's like I don't have my bed, I don't have an armrest.
Right.
I'm trying to figure out how to do the stencil.
Yep.
The communication's different.
Yeah.
The money's different.
Right.
And we're just trying to make this shit happen.
Right.
And at the end of the day, like, you can still tattoo. The cool thing about it is, like, before there was all of these luxuries of tattooing, the OGs were just like, here, give me your fucking arm.
Yeah, let's fucking
tattoo that shit. You know,
do it.
hold it a certain way to like keep it steady and no gloves. You know, but I'm using gloves when I'm traveling. But you know what I mean? Like before there was all of this stuff.
Yeah,
we're gonna put a tattoo on you.
Exactly.
And it's gonna be a dope ass tattoo because I know how to tattoo.
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah.
And that's the part that I enjoy. Sometimes I do bring an armrest or some of that things, but there's been situations. For me, my my gear has like lightened because I was bringing my coil machine. Like I went to Brazil with the whole coil machine set up with tubes and power supplies and every fucking thing.
Damn.
Now all I have to do is just pack my, my rotary and some caps and some fucking cartridges and maybe a black and white ink set, and I'm good.
You're done. Yeah, exactly.
The load is lightened so much.
Yeah, it's so fun. It's like, you get used to having everything here. And then before I left, I just made a list of every item that I would need to do the most basic tattoo there is, a super simple tattoo. And it was a long list of stuff. It was a ton of shit. And like I got all that stuff together. I'm like, Jesus, is there anything I could get rid of, eliminate? And I'm like, there's really not. Like, I need a bunch of stuff to do this tattoo. It reminded me of like going on a backpacking trip or something. Like before you go on the backpacking trip, you like go through all the gear and you're very, very careful about not forgetting something.
But you always forget something.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. Get out there to make a burrito and you don't have any tortillas and you're like, well, fuck it. We're just going to have to make this work.
I went to Italy. And I swear to God, I knew I packed my stencil goo.
Oh no!
I knew I packed my stencil. I knew it.
Yeah.
I was like, I have everything else, and I get to go do this fucking tattoo, and no stencil fucking goo.
Shit.
But then, like, since I've been tattooing for so long, I was like, oh shit, I got deodorant though.
Yeah.
I got my deodorant.
Yep. Yeah.
We can still make this fucking tattoo happen.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So good thing. That's what I mean. Like keeping you on your toes. Like I'm like, how can I still do this tattoo?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Exactly.
Let's make this shit happen.
Yeah.
So
I love that you said that, which is, I'll just go ahead and say this. The couple times that I've used Speed Stick to transfer a tattoo stencil, it was so hard, man. I lost that stencil so quick. I lost that stencil so quick. It freaked me out. Yeah.
It can still happen though.
Exactly. Yeah.
It can still happen.
You got to make it work. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. When we did that last convention, at all of the, like, I felt like it was like a highway going in and out of the convention center of all these people bringing all this shit in there.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And then after the convention, Ern was like, I swear to God, if I ever do another convention, it's just going to be me, a backpack, and that's it.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
It can really just be that easy.
Right.
It's just, you got to think doing conventions is a whole nother beast.
Right.
But I get into that point where it's like, dang, man, I want my load to be as like light as possible.
Yeah. I think that's one thing I've noticed with like the artists that have more experience, AKA the best artists, is you think maybe there's some little trick that they're doing, right? There's some little gadget that they've got, something up their sleeve that's like making it easier for them to do this tattoo,
Right.
you know? But then you get up there and they don't have any, there is no secret, there is no secret stuff, no secret device. No, you know, it's like they've got the same thing you do. They might have a cheaper machine than you with less good, you know, less quality needles. And they're doing a better tattoo. You know, it's
all about just being a tattoo artist. And I kind of want to go back to when I said, like, I knew you had all this potential.
Yeah.
And a lot of people always say, because you are an artist, it should make you being a tattoo artist way more easier. And that's a double-edged type of sword.
Yeah, it really is.
And no, but I feel like for like me and you, when it comes to making those changes inside of a tattoo, or when we're tattooing, then we can freestyle a little bit more and make it our style because we are artists.
Right.
If you're not an artist, then you won't be able to freestyle, or you won't be able to, you know, kind of like wing certain things.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because like I've seen people with more experience drawing try to tattoo, and it's like it's harder for them than if I got somebody that had no experience drawing, because you're going to have to take a massive step back. Oh, you're doing portraits and you're doing like realism, you know, shading with graphite. You think, oh man, I've really got it, you know? Then I give you the machine and it's like, okay, do a circle, a square, you know? And it's like, yeah, you can't do it. It's hard, you know, like, yeah, it's a big step back, you know? And so, yeah, it's tough. Not to say that you couldn't be with any level of experience and get good at tattooing. Of course, anybody could. It's just that, you know, you're going to have to really, really take a step back. Like, it'd be like if you were really good at a sport and then you start playing another sport and you are complete dog shit at that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could play basketball really good and then you go to play baseball and you're like, fuck, okay, it's, I'm really bad at this. You know, like, yeah.
So you was in Greece.
Yep.
And I heard you had a bucket list about like tattooing on the beach.
Oh,
that
yeah.
was like a bucket list thing. So how did that go?
Well, I had, you know, in my mind, I was like, I want to do one tattoo like right in the middle of the city, like with a shitload of people walking around. And then I want to do one that's like kind of in the middle of nowhere, but on the beach, you know? And, you know, it's like being here, being at this shop, maybe Memphis isn't the best setting to do something like what we're talking about. Like traveling, you could do that. You know what I'm saying? But like here, I would potentially make a fool of myself doing something like that. But I did both of those two setups there, and it was really, really cool. Cause like the first one was in the city square and there was a shitload of people walking around. And so you get kind of used to being here in the US where everybody speaks English, and you like go to say something to somebody and they just look at you like, the fuck, you know? And you're like, oh shit, I don't speak English. And then you quickly realize no one speaks English. You're surrounded, like, you know, like, you are a tourist. Exactly. These people live here. You do not live here, you know? But the tattoo on the beach was really cool. It was really tranquil. Like I had, you know, everything on 3-point stands, but like my feet were in the water. Her feet were in the water or whatever. It was cool. You know, it was, oh shit. The hardest part about it though, was there was a shitload of wind.
Oh shit.
There's a shitload of wind. Like you think, oh, I'll be on the beach. But then every time you go to the beach, it's windy as fuck, you know? Windy. And so like me putting that stencil on was like, I was like sweating. Yeah. I'm like, that stencil was like, I'm like, it was so hard. But then once I had the stencil, everything after that was pretty easy.
That's cool. Yeah. I'm excited to see that content whenever you post that.
Yes.
Yeah. So, man, couple final questions.
Yeah.
how do you stay inspired and avoid burnout?
All right. So okay, how do you avoid burnout? Part of that is going to be realizing that burnout happens to everybody.
Yeah.
So when it happens to you, you immediately have this reaction like you're like, I suck. I'm feeling burned out. And if I was awesome, I probably wouldn't feel this way. But that's the first part, is just being like, letting it go. Like, burnout happens. How to deal with burnout? This is what I always kind of remember. Take it back to first principles.
Yeah.
What got you here? Why did you decide to do this?
Mm.
Do that. You know, like, what'd you do on the first day? Recreate that. And then maybe by the end of that, you'll kind of see a path forward. There is no, like, I don't know. There's lots of strategies and methods, but I feel like it's going to happen to you. It's going to get you. Burnout will get you, and you'll feel it. And getting through that is how you really build yourself, like, as an artist, as a tattoo artist. You know, the people with more experience, they've been through a lot of this. You know, this is a part of life. And they know how to get themselves through it. Everybody has their own tricks, but I think for me, I remember, okay, like, I got into this because I love art. I love drawing. I need to draw something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of this business is like recreating other people's visions, redoing other people's work in a different way. That's a lot of it. It's really difficult to create something that's just 100% organic.
Right.
When you look at it, you can't trace it back to something else. It has no previous version of itself.
Mm.
It is completely organic. That's hard to do. The only way to really do that is to create a lot of bad stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know. Yeah. And just make stuff, and, you know, it'll happen. You'll make something good.
Yeah.
But when you make something bad, you'll be convinced that it's never going to happen. That's part, you know, like, that's going to happen. You got to just, you know, move forward. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like how you're saying, like, go back to, day one.
Yeah.
Cause day one, we're all inspired and fucking,
Yeah.
we all got that fire under our ass, and we're ready to start this shit,
Yeah.
And then 6 months in, cause we do a lot of repetitive stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Same thing,
Uh-huh.
same process.
Oh, yes.
I think for me, I like to travel.
Mhm.
That allows me to, like, reset everything.
Yeah.
Because then when I'm away, I start to, like, miss home.
Yeah, exactly.
Miss studio, miss everything. So I'm like, okay. Then when I come back, I'm like, oh yeah,
Right.
got a little bit of fire under my ass again.
Exactly. Yeah.
Especially after going to Africa, because they
Oh, man.
are working with little or nothing.
Yeah, it really
I was
makes
like,
you appreciate what you
yeah,
got. Yeah.
yeah.
That's super cool. Yeah, and it's going off what you said there, it's like, also bring it back to the connections, the relationships you had with other humans, other people
Mhm.
that were centered around what you love, centered around that thing. Not necessarily like you drawing something, but maybe you hanging out with one of your friends who also draws something. And that connection, that was part of it. The whole thing, it was all connected, you know? And so when you're feeling burnout, trying to reconnect to that in
Yeah.
some way, you know, like maybe getting somebody that that you like their work, and trying to collab with them or imitate them a little bit, you know, or just trying to create something. Yeah.
I like that, man.
Yeah.
Actually, like, I think that's one of the biggest things of, like, burnout. To, like, avoid burnout is, okay, if you're doing this all the
Mhm.
time, then create something.
Exactly.
That's why I really try to push being, like, a creative. Like, okay, you're a tattoo artist, but you need to paint. You need to
Right.
do drawings like how you're doing. You need to do
Yeah.
something outside of tattooing,
Right.
but you're
Yeah.
still using that muscle and you're hitting that vein, and that allows you to, avoid
Right.
that burnout.
Yeah.
The last question is, what would you tell your younger self that's getting into the tattoo industry?
Okay, so what would I tell myself? I'd say set goals and then achieve those goals. It's easy to lose sight of
Yeah.
what you want to do. There's a lot of different things you could accomplish with inside a very large field. With inside this field, there's so many subfields, and it's a really big world. You don't understand that when you're outside of it. Then when you get into it, you're kind of lost. You're
Right.
like, don't really know what direction you want to go. And, you know, you're kind of a jackass, you know? But, you know, like, when I started tattooing, a big part of one thing that I wanted was I was like, you know, creating art is fantastic. I love creating art, but paying your bills with money that you've made with your art, this is like some high in the sky, you know, thing that a lot of people have tried to accomplish and not accomplished. You
Right.
see what I'm saying? And when you get into the creative world and you start talking to people, this is a huge boundary that like you're going to be confronted with. You know, this is just part of it, you know, and for a long time in my life, I was like, okay, if I want to create, I have to not pay attention to that.
Right.
You know, like if I focus on trying to make money, I won't be able to create. Right. Then when I come into tattooing, I'm like, this is my opportunity to pay my bills with this. This
Mhm.
is serious business. I need to approach this with a different mindset than I've approached making oil paintings. And so that was a big piece of it. You know, it's like you can do whatever you want to do, but in order to have that freedom, you have to put money on the table. You got to pay your bills.
Yeah.
And that's where you get into the nitty gritty of, okay, what do I need to do to move forward,
Mm.
you know, and do those things. Learn how to do good lines, learn how to do good shading, learn how to do basic small tattoos, then venture outside of that. And when I came here, that was one of a very few clear goals that I had. And when I actually started paying my bills with the money that I made from tattooing, it was really a profound experience. You know, it was like, dude, I've tried to do this with a lot of different ways. You know, all of them were failures, but this is working. I need to move in that direction, not some other disconnected, you know, vision that I had. Oh, maybe I could do this other thing. No, I need to stay on this path,
Yeah.
you know, and make money and
Yeah.
do this. And, you know, yeah.
And I think you're locking in. You know, you said you have these goals,
Mhm.
and it's key to have goals with anything,
Yeah.
And it's best to have them written out so then you can check them off. So then you know you're accomplishing these goals.
Right.
With tattooing, you know, you have to market yourself. And that I
Yes.
would say is one of the hardest things for
Oh, yeah.
a creative to do
The
is
hardest part.
is to market yourself.
Yeah.
You know, we have a lot of walk-ins, and it's so nice for someone to, like, you know, just come to the shop and take
Yeah.
the walk-ins. But like if you want to pay your bills,
Right.
you have to go beyond that,
Oh, yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And
That
I see you
was
locking in on that more, which is good.
the apprenticeship. It was like there was a lot of things that I knew before that I need to learn this. I knew that I needed to learn that before I got here. But then when I got here, then I started learning of new things that I did not know that I needed to learn how to do, that I needed to learn how to do. And one of those things was marketing, AKA social media.
Yeah.
And that was one of the hardest pills to swallow. You know what I'm saying? I just convinced myself, like, you know, I was thinking aspirationally, like I didn't know anything. And I was like, man, if I get really good at this, I'm going to be sitting on like a golden throne with an unlimited number of people to tattoo. And then I realized, like, after getting into this, like, no, there are people that are good at this that don't have clientele, that can't pay their bills
No,
doing this,
there are
that, you know,
some
that,
like super good tattoo artists that are not being booked out because they
right.
refuse to use social media.
Exactly.
Refuse to use it.
Yeah. And it's like, you know, every time, whenever there would be a time where I'm like, oh, I really don't want to do this thing, but David is really intent that I need to do it. And I try to get away. I try to get around doing it. I try to be like, maybe I could just not post any reels. But then as time went on, it was like, no, I'm going to have to do this thing. But in the back of my mind, I'm like hoping, praying that it's not going to work. You know what I'm saying? Because then I wouldn't have to keep doing it. You know, I'm like, this thing isn't going to work. David's crazy. And then every freaking time I do it, and it would work exactly like you said it was going to, you know? And I'm just like, oh, damn it. You know what I'm saying? Like this whole other skill that I've developed not at all. I'm going to have to go down that road as well, you know?
But it's cool because, like, you know, you are finding yourself. You have the H dog. We don't.
Yeah.
You don't leaned into it, bro. You got this character. You got this persona. You know, and that's cool.
Yeah.
And I think people like that. And the thing is just it's a part of it, bro. Like Jordan brand. You know, like everybody brands themselves, bro. Like there's all these different associations with like understanding who that person is and why you like that, you know, and you don't know how many people that are watching you that want to be tattoo artists that are like, dang, looking up to you or trying to figure out how did he do that? Because they're probably looking at you like how we were talking about earlier is that like you've kind of made it. You like made it and people don't see what you've been through.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, like we were talking about earlier, it's like, you know, you want to move forward, you want to accomplish goals, but it's easy to forget how far you've come and what you've done, you know, and lose sight of that. So you have to keep reminding yourself, you know, and, looking back on the past tattoos you've done in the past, looking at what you're doing now.
And looking how they heal and all of that.
Right.
You know, staying on it because like you're saying, like there's so many sub levels and everything. But the thing is, it's just focusing on what is relevant to your career.
Right. Yeah, it's like, and it's still like if anybody is watching this and they're like, I don't know, it's just like I can't post because I just have this incredible fear. Trust me. I have the fear too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that Pocket Full of Sunshine video we made the other day, like before we made it, I was trying to convince somebody to help us make it. And I was like, what? Like, what? You think I'm scared? You think I'm afraid? Like you don't think that you know? And then, you know, like, cause before you make the content, you're not afraid. But then once you've seen it, you're like, oh, no. Oh God. Oh no, I'm going to have to share this. Yeah. And you're like, you know, and then I remember them just, you know, being like, what, you think I'm afraid? Like, oh, are you afraid now? You know, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm going to have to do it, you know? Yeah. But you got to just be that for yourself. And just, if it's not making you feel extremely cringe, you're not pushing it far enough.
Right.
Like, you're not pushing it far enough.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, Max, man, thank you so much for your time, bro.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you, man. Yeah. And, bro, you've been holding it down. I appreciate your loyalty.
Dude, I appreciate you, man.
You know, in certain situations where, you know, you vouch for me because you know the type of person I am. Yeah. And that means a lot to me. Dude. It means a lot. Man. It means a lot to have you a part of the shop. And, man, like I say, man, I see so much potential in you. And the sky's the limit, bro. You got so much more. Thanks, man. This is just only the beginning.
Thanks, man. It means a lot to be here, dude. Thanks.
Yep. And thanks everybody for watching. Yep. I hope you got something from this podcast. This has been a therapy session. Remember, if you ever need therapy, go ahead and subscribe, lock in all the sessions. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. Peace out.